One problem on our exit ticket is 4 times x plus 3 minus 8x equals 3 times x plus 2 plus x. The first thing we want to do is distribute here and here. Distributing on the left side, we get 4x plus 12. Then we have this minus 8x still equals 3x plus 6 when we distribute the 3 on the right side plus x. And now we want to look only on the left side. So we're going to look only on the left side, and we're going to combine terms on the left side. So that means combine like terms or add together terms that are alike. So two terms that are alike is this 4x and this negative 8x. If we combine 4x minus 8x, we get negative 4x. Just by adding 4 and negative 8. So negative 4x is what we get when we combine on the left side. And then this plus 12, there's no other number on the left side to combine that with, so we're just going to rewrite it, plus 12. And now we're going to look on the right side. And we're going to combine on the right side. On the right side, we have 3x plus x, which you could consider 1x if you would like, or just x. So 3x plus 1x is going to be 4x. So when we combine on the right side, we get positive 4x, and then we still have this plus 6. So when the things that when our variables or our numbers are on the same side of the equal sign, we want to combine them, combine like terms, or add them together. So all of those things mean the same thing. On the same side of the equal side, we want to combine. But now, looking at this problem, I want you to notice that now we have x's on the left side right here, and we also have x's on the right side. So whenever that happens and the x's are separated by the equal sign, that's when we want to move or subtract the x's. So now I'm going to move these x's by subtracting them. That would cancel them out over to the left side. So I just subtracted 4x from each side. And now negative 4x minus 4x is negative 8x, because we're at negative 4 going more negative 4 times. And then I'm going to rewrite everything else that was in the equation. Plus 12. The right side x is canceled out, and then we just have 6. Now to keep solving, I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. So move the 12 away from the x's. That will give negative 8x, 12 cancel out, 6 minus 12 is negative 6. And then the last step, to cancel out this 8, this negative 8 that's multiplied to the x, we undo it by dividing by negative 8. So we end up with x equals negative 6 over negative 8. First thing that we can do to simplify that is we have a negative divided by a negative, so we can just write that as positive 6 over positive 8. And then, looking at that fraction 6 over 8, 2 divides into both the top and the bottom evenly. Divide the top by 2, we get 3. Divide the bottom by 2, and we get 4. So this fraction reduces to 3 over 4. For the third problem on the exit ticket, I want to show two different methods for solving it. The first method is we can move the decimal place at this first step. So we have one decimal place here and one decimal place here. To move that decimal place, we'd want to multiply by 10. So at this step, we could multiply this whole equation by 10. When we do that, though, we're only going to multiply this number in front of the parentheses by 10. So this number here and this number here. So we would get 15 times y plus 2 equals 7 times y minus 2. The reason we only multiply those front numbers is that the y plus 2 is already multiplied by the 1.5. So when we multiply the 1.5 by 10 right here, we're already multiplying the y plus 2, so we don't need to multiply anything in the parentheses. Okay, now we would distribute on both sides of the equation and get 15y plus 30 equals 7y minus 14. At this step, we'd see if there was anything that we needed to combine. However, if we look at each side of the equation, there are no double y's or double numbers over there to combine. There are no double y's or double numbers on the right side to combine either. So that means that we can move y's across the equal sign instead. The way we move them is by subtracting them. 15y minus 7y is 8y plus 30 equals negative 14. Now we want to move this 30 as well, so subtract 30 from both sides. We get 8y equal to negative 54 or negative 44. And then last step, divide by 8. So we get y is equal to negative 44 over 8. One number that divides into the numerator in the bottom, the top and the bottom here is 4. 4 divides into the top 11 times and into the bottom 2 times. So we just divided that fraction by 4 to reduce it. And we get that y is equal to negative 11 over 2 or negative 5.5. Just depends if you prefer it as a fraction or a decimal. Either one is okay in this problem. Now let me show you the other method where we should get the same answer. Okay. Method 2 is to go ahead and distribute from this step. So go ahead and distribute 1.5 on the left side to get 1.5y plus 1.5 times 2 is 3, and then distribute on the right side as well. 0.7 times y is 0.7y. 0.7 times negative 2 is negative 1.4. Okay, so now after distributing, we could multiply by by 10 at this point to move the decimal. So now that all the parentheses are gone, now that I've distributed, I am going to multiply the 10 by every single number in here and move the decimal place 1 for each. So that would give 15y plus 30 equals 7y minus 14. And I want you to see that solving it the other way, we had the same equation. 15y plus 30 equals 7y minus 14. So either of these methods would give us the same answer because we have the same equation at this step. I want to remind you what I said in class, which is when you have fractions, we really do want to clear out the fractions to solve, but when we have decimals, you could also solve this problem without multiplying by 10. So it just means you'll have like decimals as you're working, but if you're okay with that, that's fine. So I will go ahead and show that for this problem. So let's pretend I didn't multiply by 10 here. Okay. If I didn't multiply by 10, then I would look and see I have nothing that I can combine because I have y's on the left, y's on the right, numbers on the left, numbers on the right of the equal sign, but none of those on the same side of the equal sign. So that means I could move this 0.7y over. 1.5 minus 0.7 is equal to 0.8y, plus 3 equals negative 1.4. Subtracting 3, 0.8y equals negative 4.4. And then dividing by 0.8, we would get negative 5.5. So same answer here. We just didn't multiply by 10, so we had decimals in the equation. However, you are allowed to use an operations calculator, so to simplify something like this. If you prefer to leave decimals in the equation, that's fine. If you prefer to multiply them out, that's fine as well. You can choose.